Hey guys, this is Spark Plus Ultra here, and this is my part 3 on Redo. What if Deku had Leatherhead abilities? Practicing. And I hope you like this video and hope you subscribe. While Deku was getting dressed in the boys' locker room to get into his PE uniform, a certain person steps on his tail, yelling out as a hurt of pain. Deku says, "Who did that?" And then he sees Bakugo. Blonde-haired Spike Kid! And Bakugo says, "That's what you get for scaring all of us." And Deku says, "It was just a one-time thing, and that was Azawa's." And Bakugo looks at him. "Still doesn't make it any more less trusting of you." And all the boys were a little annoyed on the argument, but Deku got out of the UA changing room and got into his uniform. And all of the students are in the quirk examination, where they are going to test out their quirks, limitations, and abilities. And Deku's quirk is very useful in certain situations. And Azawa says this: "Alright, it's time to test your quirks. The first one who's gonna be taking the test is Ochako." And Ochako says, "Huh? Me?" And Deku says this: "You were the one that obviously took first in the exam." And Ochako says, "Thanks, but why do you want me to go first?" And Deku and Azawa look at each other and says this: "Deku has looked at your ability, and seems like he really likes your quirk and how you think caution. Sometimes you hesitate, but it works." And Chako says, "Oh, thanks, Deku." And Deku says, "No problem. I work on my hesitation, but you worked on it pretty well." And obviously, when Chako touched the ball, she threw the ball and it reached to infinity. And Deku says, "Wow, I'm impressed." And Chako says, "Thanks." And all the students were thinking that this is going to be easy and going to be fun. And Azawa then says this: "Think this is going to be fun, huh?" And Deku then realized what he's doing. "Oh no, not again." And Azawa then says, "Let's place a bet. If one of you could not take last place, then you're not suspended from the school." And all the students were shocked. And Deku says, "Figures, he's pulling this one." And all the students say, "But we worked hard to get in here." And Deku says, "Yeah, they fought me every time." Deku sighed. And Zawa says, "Yeah, you're right about that. But other heroes worked just as hard." You think Deku was pushing his strength? No, he was obviously to be held back. And Deku then says this: "I feel like you're making me a it in every situation." And Zawa says, "But you need to take this serious as well." And all the students were taking it as serious as possible. And Deku takes about 3rd place on throwing, just edges out on Bakugo's throwing. And speed, if this was in water, then Deku would take it with no problem. 2nd to Sue. Running, I would say about 5th. I mean, alligators are pretty fast, but not that fast. And grip strength, that's easy. Deku takes 1st, even in TMNT. Leatherhead in the 2012 literally broke the concrete, even in 2003. That's still impressive. And agility, oof, this one does not do Deku well, but he does muster somewhat, taking about 7th. And that's where I'm putting Zuku in the 7th ranking, because his abilities are versatile, but they're lacking in the agility department, making it hard for Zuki to get anywhere. And Mineta takes last place, and Zuki says, "Here we go." And Mineta says, "Hey, wait, Zuki, can you help me with this?" And Zuki says, "Sorry, dude, not gonna help." And Sawa says this, "Alright, Mineta, you're taking last place." And Mineta then begs for Zuki to help him, and Zuki not helping him. And Sawa says, "Try doing better and work on your quirk." And walking away and saying, "You're not suspended. That was a joke." And Zuki and all the students say, "What?" And Zuki says this, "You really didn't notice?" And Momo says this as well. "Yes, I thought it was a motivation. You realize?" And some of the students and Mineta says this, "You should have told us that!" And Zuki says this, "If I didn't tell you guys, you would obviously be more pissed off that I let you guys in it. That's kind of the point of being a very, very mischievous person." And Momo says, "I agree with Suki." And Suki says, "First time I ever got an agreement. That's your name again?" And Momo says this, "Name's Momo Yayarozu. It is a greetings to meet." And Suki says this, "Name's Zuki Midoriya from New York City. Nice to meet ya, Momo." And all the students say, get a string second. Wait, New York? And getting a click to the head. Wait, alligator, New York, you're the... And Zuku says, "Yeah, I'm the sewer gator." And all the students were legitimately surprised. "You're the villain that is from New York?" And Zuku says, "I wouldn't say villain, more like a surprise kid." "Doesn't matter, why are you here?" All the students were looking at it, and Zuki says, "I was curious. I just wanted to know what was up there. I had a bike in the sewer. Well, before Midnight get me." And all the students forgot that Midnight also took him down. Then Zuki says, "Well, I'm gonna change back into my uniform and get some rest." But before all the students get an answer, and Bakugo says this, "So, you were a villain, huh? Hey, Lizard Breath! If you are too scared of me, maybe we should fight one-on-one. If I ever come across with you fighting, I'm not gonna hold back." Suki says, "Lizard Breath? Oh, you are gonna have another cracking. I tolerated you for a while, but this goes too far." And when Sugu goes to the UA room and takes a relaxed break, Sugu then gets angry and then throws his pillow and punches it. And the pillow flies to the door. And Sugu says, "Man, this guy is gonna agitate me to the bone." And then Sugu grabs his pillow and puts it on the bed. And Sugu says, "Shouldn't let that annoy me, but still, even that's low, even for him." And who says I smell like lizard breath? I brush my teeth like all the time. And why do I... He said lizard breath. While having that problem, trying to get not annoyed again from Bakugo, next day he goes and sits down. While all the students were a little cautious, but not being very hostile around him. Then Zuku says, "Well, it can happen," and sits down. And then the door opens and All Might comes out and says, "Don't worry, because I am here, walking like a true hero! And all the students were cheering, and Suku smiles, seeing All Might there. The person who helped him trained a bit. And All Might tells all the students to get into their hero gear, and we're doing a test. And Suku gets into his hero gear. Unlike his phony villain gear, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it was a Floridian look of a villain. Like the 1980s Leatherhead, and Deku goes for a bit of a unique turn, having a survivalist jacket with teared sleeves and a pretty badass pants that make him stand out a bit on a Texan style. And Deku says, I looked this one up in the internet. I think this suits me very well. Then Deku goes out, and all the students were out with their costumes. And Bakugo looks at Deku. The hell is this? You look like a survivalist retard. And Deku says, hey, I chose these with proper care. And Bakugo says, where did you get them? Toys R Us? And Deku says, what the hell is Toys R Us? I have never heard of that place. And Bakugo says, the jokes of this I can't stir up, but you look like a soldier retard of a bystander military of losers. And Suku says, now I feel honestly bad. And then Momo says this, your unique style is interesting, but I think I need to help you out on the gears. And Suku says, thanks, Yaoruzu. I really need better taste. I heard a saying that women are better at clothes than men. And all the girls were putting their head up and down, saying yes. Yes, they are. And Suku laughed, and then All Might chooses the teams. And Suku gets an interesting one. Toru Hagakura. And Suku says, this is interesting. I never seen your tricks. And Toru said, oh, that's because I was hiding from you. And Suku says, didn't even sense you in the water. Oh, that's because everybody was splashing around in there. And Suku says, makes sense on that. Even I couldn't even sense that. Suku and Toru are in the hero side, and they're facing off against Koji Kaido. And Suku was waiting on how to figure out how they're gonna plan it. And Toru says, I got it. Maybe we should have one of us go up in the window and open it from the back. And Suku says, I'll break the chains. And Toru says, yeah, fair plan. And breaks the chains and opens the door. And Toru says, alright, leave it to me on sneaking in. And Suku says, no problem. And both Suku and Toru were being quiet. And Toru going ahead of Suku because, well, Toru is invisible, making her pretty hard to find even in this state. And Suku is wondering, I hope okay. And then Toru says, Suku! Psst. Yeah! And Suku was surprised hearing Toru out of nowhere. And Toru said, sorry, but can you be quiet? I found him. And seeing Sugar Man, and Suku says, looks like his weakness is not having his sugar to make him strong. And Toru says, how can we do that? And Suku then rushes, and Sugar Man then, what the? Oh crap, here he comes! And when Sugar Man goes and grabs his sugar, Zuko grabs the sugar out of his hand and says, "So I was right. Anything that gives you candy, like a bit of calorie like this, would make you strong." And taking away his stuff, Zuko then kicks him in the gut to knock him out. And Zuko says, "Better make it quick." And Toru says, "Whoa, so quick! How do you do that?" And Zuko says, "I finally got rid of my hesitation." And Toru says, "So cool." And Zuko then looks around. And Toru was on the stairs. "It's okay." And Zuko then trying to find the bomb. And when Toru opens the door, she sees, "Found it!" And seeing Koda, and Zuko looks at him. Doesn't seem he looks of a big threat outdoors. And Toru says, "That's gonna be easy." And when Toru was walking and hiding from Koda, she touched the bomb, and All Might says, "The hero team wins!" And Zuko then says, "Guess your stealth really is handy." And she says, "Thanks! I was hoping you'd compliment me on this one." And Zuko says, "Well, it was hard enough to figure out their quirks, but you're really helpful." And Toru says, "Thanks." And Zuko says, "Huh? What was that? Did your voice get a little soft?" And Toru says, No, it's okay. I'm fine." And Zuko and Toru have a good team combination. Despite Zuko's bulkish nature look, he's surprisingly kind and very smart on what to do. Momo telling how she explained, and Zuko gets MVP for having a very good tactical mind. And that's where I'm ending this video. I hope you liked this video and hope you subscribe. See you next time. Plus Ultra.